If four things are followed, having a great aim, acquiring knowledge, hard work, and perseverance, then anything can be achieved. APJ Abdul Kalam. And Mr. Kalam is exactly right. And my friends, we deal with it each and every day. A great aim, acquiring knowledge, hard work, and perseverance. Each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, learning how to follow price movement. That is, see the rotations over either up or down on these charts, and then following that price movement. Let's jump first into the S&P 500, rocketing down 2.91%, only to be beaten out as far as stocks go, stock indexes go, by the NASDAQ 100. Of course, we were already short the S&P 500, and of course, we have accelerated even more. I tell you what, when the back breaks and you see the waterfall going, you see the water going over the fall, it just again drops like a stone. Now something will happen at some point where they'll slow this down, it'll pull back up, and then but with all this energy likely to just release again. But again, what a great day for everyone who was short the S&P 500 on SH. Again, price well below on the 2-day chart, the weekly trend line, well below on the half-day chart, the weekly trend line. We saw that latest acceleration really start up on Thursday afternoon, down on Friday, and then really peaking. Look at all the volume that you see here on the half-day chart, all the volume you see here on the 2-day chart. And again, look at all the volume on the weekly chart as it accelerated last week. And then, of course, we're already over halfway up to average volume just from Monday. Big time short. Okay, what's going on? This was our trade. This is the one that we jumped into. And, of course, we saw things rotating over after hitting the interim high. We saw the telltale red spinning top. We had the volume to back up the interim high. We had the volume to back up. It actually was the high. We had the volume to back up the rotation over, going down. And again, the perfect kind of setup. We don't like to see these kinds of candles like we have on Monday on this new week. Big, long down candles, because a lot of times things can pull back and then you're way below and you're just getting hammered. Now, for those of you not familiar with what we're talking about here, we're talking about making money on practice trades. This is in your paper trade or your fractional trade with just a little dollar amount as you're learning. When we're talking about making money when markets go down, we're not talking about buying the S&P 500. This is the chart we track. What is it that we buy for our practice trade? For the NASDAQ 100, it's PSQ. That is the single short. It is offered by ProShares. There are others. This is just the one that I trade. And of course, already took my 2.76% profit, took my 5.51% profit, and things are actually just rocketing even higher, just blasting off. So again, what you do is you practice trade by buying the short fund. Now, it's a lot to know about inverse funds. If you bet in the wrong direction, you have to remember that they're revalued on a daily basis. So if it loses 2% one day, then it resets the price, then it loses 2% more the next day. You're magnifying your losses. So when we look, and you also have very high fees. So you need to know what you're doing. How do you know what you're doing? You practice trade. That's what we talk about day in and day out. If you're out here learning how to do this and you're spending real money to learn, my word, you won't be in this for long. We are not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. I want you to practice trade with us. Learn how to do this. And then once you learn and you convince yourself you feel comfortable using your own money with your own knowledge, do it. I'm not here. I am not paid to give market advice, and I will not give market advice. I'll tell you many times what I have done after I have done it, after I'm in a trade, but I'm not going to be giving anyone market advice. But if you were short on this on your practice trade, you are doing quite well. So we're going to leave stocks, Go to bonds, look at bonds just pushing up through this little ceiling that we saw there before. What a great opening day on both the weekly and the 2-day as things just hammered up candle-wise. Not as much up as the S&P and NASDAQ 100 were down, just 0.5%. But again, these are Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, and they're showing us the average pace is taking off. Look at all the volume. This is the first day of the 2-day candle, and it's already above average volume. Look at the weekly. It's already close to halfway there, if not halfway there, and a nice big candle. Look at the surge in the morning, retreating a little bit in the afternoon after all that exuberance in the morning, but we'll keep an eye on 20-year bonds, again, going in the right direction. What about gold? Gold pulling back again once more, looking like it's bouncing off this ceiling. We've had it bounce off again, starting the week off weak below the weekly trend line. That's not much of a trend line, but whatever it is, it's below it on the weekly, pushing below it on the 2-day, pushed below it in the morning, and ended up in the afternoon a little bit above it on the half-day. But again, look at the volume metrics on the half-day. Look at where we are, probably a little above average on the 2-day. And the weekly, maybe a fifth. Maybe it's moving in the right direction. We'll keep an eye on things. But again, gold pulling back 1.27%. So we will keep an eye on gold as we move forward. I tell you what, just for good measure, what's up with GDX? That is the gold miners. I always like to take a look at them. Yeah, gold miners hammering down strong starting the week off. So just always like to check that when I'm looking at gold. Sometimes there are more opportunities there. Now let's move on lastly to HODL and look at Bitcoin. We told you at the end of the week, did we not? The Thursday, Friday candle had pushed through. We saw on Thursday things pushing through in the morning and in the afternoon on the half day, and then morning and afternoon on Friday. But I don't know who expected this, down 14.42%. Bitcoin just crushing down. So again, if I would have seen that coming, I'd have gotten myself back into a BITI trade. Did not see that coming. Did not set up with the classic look of a rollover. So I wasn't there, but that's okay. We'll just wait, watch, and see. Hopefully, this is going to get us again back to a clean reset with a nice rotation over going up that we can read, and we can ride Bitcoin back up whenever it turns back around. That is where we are, folks, as we end the day on Monday, heading into Tuesday. So great to have you with us. I hope some of you are short either the S&P or the NASDAQ 100 riding that. Like to just always love to hear from you, what you've been doing, what you're interested in. If you have questions, problems, concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to us. CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.